You guys got to check this. The worst mayor in America, Tiffany Henyard, just had a complete, utter meltdown because her entire town voted her out of office, thus losing her $250,000 a year. Now, those that might not know, she's having an argument right now with the town, and they already made their vote. She's already voted out. She's having her meltdown right now. What's about to happen, I want to spoil it for y'all, but it's only about 20 seconds away from this when I shut my big mouth, is absolutely unreal. The town joins together to troll Tiffany. And I'm telling you, she earned this name, America's Worst Mayor. And by the end of this video, I believe you, the viewer, will agree with me on that title. I just did another vote in front of her. These black folks.
Out of here.
Out of here.
She's out of here. She's out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's out of here. She's out of here. She's out of here. Get out of here. She's out of here. Yeah, she's voted out. She's out. She's a wrap. It's a wrap.
This is crazy, dog.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
This is crazy, bro.
Security, get out of here.
She's mad. Chat. In case y'all don't know, she's mad. Man, I love this story. This is, if you guys can't tell, this is my favorite video of the week. So she's mad because she was spending their money, their taxpayer dollars, and they're struggling. These are Illinois residents, spending their money on lavish parties, lavish expenses, and lavish trips. And we got receipts for all of that. I'm telling you guys, this shit. Oh, excuse me. This gets so much worse than you could imagine. All the way down to her not paying rent for years. You ain't seen nothing yet.
She cannot run.
Do y'all hear this?
No.
They are telling her, nah, hey, goodbye. Bro, she's about to. She is bro, she is breaking down in tears. I can't blame her.
Oh, this is crazy. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for you.
As a recap, the Democratic slate that will represent Thornton Township at the April 1st consolidated election reads as follows. For Supervisor, Napoleon Harris.
Yeah.
Chris Gonzalez, Mary Vaughn, thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming out and participating in the caucus.
Yeah! Yeah! Get her out of here. Get her out of here.
For you guys that are unaware, she is still the mayor, unfortunately. But what she lost is more important than being the mayor. My best friend Malachi broke it down better, saying that these mayors, they get paid for their positions. Now, Miss Tiffany, she was in charge of the township supervisorship and mayor of Dalton. Now, this right here is what leads to her getting paid, is that township, is that position specifically that she was voted out of. And it was over $250,000 a year. And they did it just because of how poorly she was spending her money and selfishly.
For her. It's a wrap. She's going to tell her story, but... Hey! You got one lone supporter.
The motion has been seconded. All in favor of the Napoleon Harris slate being nominated for the April 1st consolidated. I nominate myself.
It just never. I've never seen. I mean, I've never seen someone hated that much by their town. And the crazy thing is, I'm laughing at that old white dude in the chair. They're clapping, bro, in her face. I don't care how bad of a bear you are. I need someone from Illinois to come in and check in below and break this down for me. What did she do to make these niggas that mad, bro? Seriously, this is crazy. Like, when I tell you guys, I rushed to be able to record this. You could tell by my face how shiny it is, the sweat that's starting to drip. I rushed to record this because this is an absolute golden video. I cannot wait for this video to get to the end. So here it is.
What happened, Tiffany? What happened?
Here's what she said before the caucus began.
Mind you, this was a re-election. She initially lost, I believe it was on December 3rd, and she did a re-election from, believe it or not, claiming that Republicans stole the elections. She is blaming us for election fraud. And through the election fraud that she claims that we have done and committed, she did a recount and lost twice. This time made sure the entire town said no to her ass.
They can't beat me. If they could beat me, they would have went to the polls.
What do you do tonight if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination?
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. You will see. My people are here. They're not going to go nowhere. The show will go on.
Her allies now figuring out their next steps.
This is the biggest. This is the biggest. This is a fraud.
We talked to Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came.
So, chat, here we go. I've given a few hints about this story right here. In case you guys don't know, her landlord has been going through a lot of problems because Tiffany allegedly has been, running off on the plug, running off on the landlord twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. She refused to pay her, owing thousands of dollars, while she constantly spends thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars made from taxpayers on lavish trips. And you cannot make this up. This is actually the worst mayor in America. I don't know if you have a mayor that's worse than this. I hope to God that you don't. But she's literally called the worst mayor in America by multiple mainstream media publications.
To this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night, hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
We do not have a quorum, so we will not be having a board meeting this evening.
With Thornton Township's board meeting canceled, Janetta Hull will have to find another way to serve an eviction notice to Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, also Dalton's mayor.
So now I have to pay a special process service in order to get them served, which is more fees for me.
Hull says she leased this home to Henyard and her boyfriend in 2021. She says the last payment came in August. She filed eviction papers last month. She says she's now owed $5,000 in back rent plus late fees. She says the couple was a no-show for a Zoom hearing Tuesday morning.
The sheriff's been out here a few times to serve them. For a household that makes...
This has to be parody. Like, we have a mayor, and they cry about, this is the same party that cries about Donald Trump. At least the Negro can pay his bills.
Over $350,000 a year. I'm asking for pennies.
Hull says she hasn't been able to gain access to the home or garage to do maintenance.
I gave them 48 hours notice. And then I also texted them about 15 minutes before I got here. So there's a code on the garage, and then there's locks on the front door that were changed.
In a statement, an attorney for Tiffany Henyard told NBC5 no comment at this time. Hull says she regrets renting to the couple.
I don't think the money is worth it. The cash up front is not worth it. I would have rather rented to someone who, is an honest person and goes to work every day and works hard.
This matter heads back to court next Tuesday at the Markham Courthouse.
Here's the fraud, Tiffany. I wanted you guys to also see. I thought this was the great time to include this video right here. This video displays Tiffany partying, having the time of her life with taxpayer dollars. I have to keep stressing that word. Having the time of her life while also owing hundreds of thousands of dollars on rent. You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Let's see why Tiffany got voted out by her entire town.
The self-proclaimed super mayor is also apparently a super fan. She flew in nationally known R&B singer Kiki Wyatt to headline the Taste of Thornton Township last month. There were other performers, plus daytime events for kids.
Out here at Taste of Thornton. Yeah, it keeps raining, but it's still going on. Right now they got the comedians up there.
To be clear, Henyard's predecessor also threw a Taste of Thornton Township event, but not on this scale.
But see, this all for the babies. This is what they don't show you. They don't show you this side of Tiffany Henyard. Yeah, I'm going to just start with the caucus. So just so you know, this is strictly about the
As you see, and like they say, they don't show you this side of Tiffany. Tiffany, I would hope that they don't. That's called money laundering. That's called fraud. That's called abusing your taxpayers or your voters. That's called what will lead to you getting voted out by your entire town. So I'm sure they don't show the story, Tiffany. They were trying to protect you, Tiffany. She low-key belongs in my video from yesterday. My video from yesterday was talking about how Democrats are using black women to destroy America. And Tiffany, lo and behold, came here to one-up me.
caucus is not about anything else. So if I decline to answer, I'm strictly talking about the caucus at this moment. And then y'all will get more interviews out of me. As long as y'all good to me, I'll be good to you. I have no issues. I just wanted people to say my side of the story and not just paint me as bad news, because it's not the truth, and y'all been witnessing it yourselves at the caucus. So that's kind of what's going on and been going on. So I pray that you pay attention to other people's, I don't want to say drama, but situations.
Was it rigged? I mean, what happened Tuesday night?
Yes, it's election rigging at its finest. So we got there at about 4:30. Some got there right before 5. When we tried to enter into the building, they told us we cannot come in because they had a party going on at 5 o'clock. Residents from throughout Thornton Township showed up in drones. We had buses out there, cars. You know, it was super cold. I know I ran into you outside, and I was out there with them. They didn't even let me in. So when I did try to go in originally around 5, they told me they had a party and we cannot enter into the building. I asked, can you please let the residents inside the building? They said, no, they have a party. I said, but this is our residents. Let them in. They said, no, they did not register for the party. I felt that was so disheartening because...
Bro, who is this 1970s bodyguard ad nigga to the left of her? And who is this Freddy Krueger to the top right of her? And, bro... I don't even want to say who the dude that's directly behind her, what he looks like and what he remind me of. But isn't this one of the most intimidating press briefs that you might have ever seen? You got a nigga that look just like Big Meech in a red polo shirt. Bro, it doesn't look inviting. It doesn't, and I'm black. It doesn't look inviting at all. I don't know who her team is, but it exemplifies the problems that we have. For one, you tell these niggas to put on a suit, please. Why is he standing? Is this dude genuinely, I want to know, is this man her bodyguard? Staring at the camera, looking as if he's ready to choke slam me for just being a resident of your city. There's a problem with her entire administration. There's reasons why she got voted out.
At the end of the day, this somebody's mom, auntie, cousin, uncle. You should let him in. It was cold outside, super cold.
Oh, don't change your face now. Don't change your face now, bro. Now he trying to, he trying to relax his face, bro. No. You looked intimidating as shit just earlier. No, don't try to change now.
No problem with that.
Was your name ever on the ballot? Did they ever actually, say Tiffany Henyard and they vote on it, or no?
No, no one had the opportunity to basically be a nominee. And that's where they messed up at. You're supposed to allow anybody that wants to run for office the opportunity to nominate themselves, let alone a slate, let alone anybody in the room can say, hey, I nominate myself for supervisor. I nominate myself for clerk. But they didn't give anybody the opportunity to do that. He only nominated himself and his slate, which was wrong. And I was fighting for my people to get in the building because it was cold outside.
How come nobody stood up to nominate you?
Well, we did. If you watch the tape, I nominated myself.
Is that what you were saying to Napoleon Harris from the board? We couldn't hear you.
Yes. Yes, somebody got it on tape. I had saw the video, and also my team have it on the tape. If you want the footage, we'll give it to you. But he did not acknowledge anyone or anybody's demand. I was the only one that stood up to him. As you guys know, I am a fighter. I would not be bullied. I would not let people do voter suppression. That was the biggest voter suppression I've ever seen. And we talk about history, right?
I got to be careful where I'm at because thankfully, well, luckily for Tiffany, I'm on YouTube. And I have to be careful what we say here. But I can say this. I find it pretty odd that you have Democrats openly claiming about election fraud, claiming about the securities of the elections when they don't go their way. Now, mind you, this isn't anything new for the Democrat Party. This is a party that has claimed the elections, presidential election, has been stolen over 3 times. Over 3 times, yes. The same party that claims that they believe in law and order and they believe in the most secure elections ever, they actually don't. They actually think every election is stolen that they lose. The crazy thing about this is it was only until conservatives claimed this rhetoric, which was, to me, I've been a conservative my whole life, if you guys don't know. I've been a conservative since 6. It was my first time seeing conservatives actually throw that rhetoric out there, claiming about a theft of some sort. But it was something that Democrats typically do after every election. So now what we're seeing, since enough time has passed since 2020 and 2021, now things are resetting and going back to what it was, the natural order of things, of Democrats typically losing and blaming it on some third-party source. You see, because that's normally what happens.
Right? Every time we talk about history, we're talking about people that fought for the right to vote. But yet, they didn't have the right to vote this time. Why? Why is that? Why mute the votes? Why mute the voices? Why mute the presidents? I have a problem with that because if he thought he was going to win, he would have let him in. But he didn't because it was my base that was outside because we couldn't get in. He said, and I quote, "We are not letting anybody in until 6:30. 6:30 came, we were still outside. So when I finally got in, because people let me through the line, that's the only way I got in the building. Other than that, I would have been outside still with the people."
An attorney for Mr. Harris says you were not qualified because you didn't have a certified assessor on your ticket. What do you say to that?
That's not true. How would anybody know that if you didn't give me an opportunity to make my nominations? People can't just assume what they think I have. I have to make the nominations on the floor before someone can say that I didn't have something. That's not true.
We're here to help each other, not hurt each other. And it's a shame that us, I'm talking to my black and brown communities, will sit here.
And that's what we've been waiting on right there, chat. We've been waiting on that right there. Of course, these women that come up out of nowhere and somehow have a massive position of power, they'll do so by claiming it's a problem for the black and brown people, as she sits behind a clearly pale white woman. Now, if this world wasn't fair, if this country wasn't fair and wasn't just, she wouldn't even be able to sit in a chair with that close vicinity of a white woman, because that's real racism. She wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to spend $250,000 on a lavish lifestyle, because I'll tell you what, a real racist won't let you get away with 10. But you can get away with hundreds of thousands of dollars in a racist country. Go fuck yourself, Tiffany, because that is a complete lie, and she knows it.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a...
She is the worst mayor in America. I've been telling you guys, I hope that this is starting to resonate with the people that's watching this. I've expressed this from the very beginning of this video. I am going to show you before we end how this is possibly the worst mayor in America. In my opinion, the worst.
Woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton's difficulties got worse in recent weeks with water main breaks. Henyard blames on trustee budget cuts. Then 4 people were shot and injured last week, leaving nerves frayed and Henyard's opponents pointing out her sizable security detail.
It's unfortunate that politics are being played, but what has happened is $1 million out of my budget has been cut because of politics.
Wow.
Don't forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor.
Bro, your little police chief is talking about how, well, lieutenant, whatever, talk about how he needs some bread. And you talking about want to hear from you. Nigga, we want to hear from the people that can protect us when we go to sleep at night. Not your extra weave wearing head ass, lash wearing ass. We ain't trying to hear from weave, lashes, nails, lipstick, and all the other extra shit that you bring to the office. We trying to hear from these respected individuals that can save lives out here, not the bullshit that you spew.
Y'all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work.
Tiffany Henyard considers herself something of a crusader, but one who's clearly annoyed by questions from a rebellious group of Dalton trustees who are in a standoff with her over spending.
At the end of the day, vendors are not being paid. Board approved it.
The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront, so not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
WGN Investigates has cataloged tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent on trips, meals, and more by Tiffany Henyard and her allies in Dalton and on the Thornton Township Board, where she's the supervisor. Township credit card records show Henyard and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin.
I was in Atlanta when Keisha Bottoms was the mayor of this black woman, and I can't lie to y'all. Why is it when black people get put in, and I'm going to say it, put in positions of power, if you ever hear any allegation of us, it's got to do with us niggas stealing money. God damn it. I'm tired of you Negroes doing the same shit. You make it harder for Negroes like me. I am tired of y'all niggas. Like, put your hands to yourself. If you win an election, keep your goddamn hands to yourself. Stop stealing shit. We can't stop stealing. We either stealing in the streets or we stealing in the offices. Nigga, stop stealing. Stop being a thief. I understand that there's thieves of all kind of races. Don't have to hit me with that bullshit. Stop stealing, nigga. Because they gonna think we stealing anyway. We gotta stop. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going off in a rant. We have to stop giving people confirmations of their bias. And we can't cry Chicken Little when these motherfuckers confirm it to your left and your right. The same way that I could say that Tiffany can't be in a racist America because she's sitting beside a white woman while giving that speech. It's the same way that I can verify that we have a problem in our culture because the person to my left and my right is an ignorant nigga most of the time. We got to fix this. We got to stop just being what everyone think we are.
Atlanta and New York City. Many of the flights were first class. So were the accommodations. In Atlanta, Henyard and her team stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, costing taxpayers more than $9,000. In New York, the bill came to $13,000. Henyard has refused to explain the specific purpose of the trips or why they travel in such style.
More controversy is brewing in South suburban Dalton.
So last night, police shut down two popular bars. One trustee says the reason? Because they're not financially supporting Dalton's mayor, Tiffany Henyard. Our Dane Placco has more.
Is it coincidence or retaliation? Both of the Dalton bars that were raided and shut down last night, we visited the day before as part of our ongoing investigation into allegations of political corruption in Dalton.
They just rushed in here, put police at the front of the door like they was doing a raid on the drug house or something.
A team of Dalton police officers raided and shut down Pablo's Bar and Cafe and Rinky's Bar and Cafe, both located on Sibley, about a block apart.
Everything going peacefully, nothing going on. It's like 10 police cars came in and they start pushing customers from here. And he said, if you don't leave, we're going to lock you up.
Employees and owners say it's part of an ongoing campaign of harassment by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard that is costing jobs and money. Their business licenses have been stripped by Dalton, but they've continued to operate with a state license.
I have like over 23 employees. They work from the local township. Now, end of the day, all the employees, they're going to lose their job.
It's ridiculous. We all have mouths to feed. We all have kids. They're not giving us no explanation.
On Monday, we visited both Rinky's and Pablo's to ask about allegations their licenses were being held up for political reasons. Then last evening, we broke the story that FBI agents have questioned at least a half dozen people, including business owners, a former Dalton employee, and an elected official as part of an investigation into Mayor Henyard. Less than 2 hours after our story aired, police raided the two bars.
Someone seen you go in there, and then 2 hours after your story airs, that police are at both of these establishments.
Dalton trustee Tammy Brown says she believes the raids are meant to send a warning to others not to talk. And she believes there's a reason so many Dalton businesses are having trouble getting their licenses renewed.
I'm sure that they were asked to donate, make a donation, and most likely they didn't make a donation. So you don't get a chance to stay open if you don't pay the Queen's ransom.
Now, tomorrow evening, there will be a special public meeting of the trustees who are opposed to the mayor, in which they plan to take action on the village's finances, getting access to Village Hall. They've been locked out, and welcoming that investigation by federal agents.
Tiffany is by far the worst mayor in America, and she is a absolute horrible role model to black women, and absolutely horrible role model to all women, and to all politicians as a whole. But this is the year of expose. Cat Williams said so. This is so deserved. in case you guys can't tell from my tone, I really wanted to put this story out there because it's just so much to dive in. And to be honest, this low-key needs to be a 1-hour video. But I didn't want to have to keep people for that long. Because when you start to dive into Tiffany, you find yourself rabbit holes on top of rabbit holes on top of rabbit holes on top of rabbit holes. It's actually very interesting to see how corrupt this individual is. And she holds a trend of when you put these people of color in positions of power in Democrat cities, somehow they leave with 5-finger discounts. I don't know. It needs to be addressed. I wanted to be, so at least be someone that addressed it. I haven't seen too many videos about it, breaking it down like this, but by far America's worst mayor. And the citizens of Illinois fought back, and this yet again shows the power of the people, which is why they constantly try to tell us that we're powerless. The people got tired, and look what they did. They made an absolute change, a change that's so big that this woman actually came out in the cold for both elections because she was worried about losing her what? Her money. Your problems finally became her problems for the first time in her career, and look how she acted. She was there with the people. Now they her people. They weren't your people when you were spending all their money. Now were they, Tiffany? But because you need them, they're your people. And I want people to look at this story. It tells you a lot about politics. These people only need us when they need us. They don't have anything for us. They ain't going to address us. But when their pockets are at risk, when their child's future is at risk, now it's time for us as Americans to come together and get to the bottom of things. Hey, although this might have been on a smaller level, make no mistake, what happened with Tiffany is something that will happen with any politician when you hold them accountable. So I felt like it was an important story, if for anything, to show the people that they are powerful. They can make a change. And these politicians absolutely fear for you doing so. The worst thing you can do as an American citizen is hold a politician accountable. Because they're expecting to win these elections. And they're expecting for people not to remember their promises. It's a little bit harder with presidents because it's plastered all over the news. But what happens when you have a mayor? What happens when you have a congressman, a senator? What happens when you have attorney general, a DA? What happens when they make these promises and it didn't get that much airway and people don't get to hold them accountable? We see a lot of issues in America that we're witnessing right now. The people of Illinois, congratulations, shout out to them. Great job. And for those that don't know, she was primaried out of this, so it isn't like a Republican took this situation. She lost by her own people, by Democrats. Make no mistake. And it is showing us just the same way that Trump won his election. Democrats aren't just voting blue because they're told to. This is a terrifying time to be a Democrat. Negroes have woke up. Niggas are starting to vote for their interests, not for the propaganda, but their actual interests. They're starting to compare both platforms. They're starting to compare these politicians, and they're starting to finally admit that these people aren't for us. And we're breaking away from it. This is the most awake black people have been, in my opinion, since before slavery. And I know that's a drastic statement, but I wholeheartedly believe it. Super supportive of you guys helping me throughout this whole process. As my quality is constantly trying to get better, I focus on better topics. I hope you guys are enjoying all of this. If you are enjoying it, I cannot stress enough how important it is to have you actually like this post, comment on this post. Hey, if you don't want to subscribe to me, don't subscribe to me. I get tired of seeing these golden dreads too. I ain't gonna lie. But if you have the time to comment, please comment. If you have the time to like this, please like, because it actually helps me get my message out to more people. And long story short, I don't get much money off this, but the views do motivate me to keep going. So anytime I have more views, dude, I'm pumped. I'm pumped to drop more stuff because thankfully God has blessed me to be in a position to where I don't really have to too much stress about monetization. I can just do this out of love for the game, which I do. I don't do it out of the money. I mean, anyone can just Google search how much this is possibly paying. I'm doing it out of love of the game. I'm genuinely having a time of my life doing this. But if you guys could assist with the views just by clicking a like, comment, subscribe, that helps out a ton. And let me go ahead and beat my dead horse real quick. Please click the notification bell, because when you click the notification bell, you can stay updated on my next post. And if you stay updated on my next post, it helps it shoot up. In case you guys don't know, this is a feather of a peacock. I'm not going to give an explanation why I have a feather of a peacock, but just in case of people were wondering, and I wanted to give a little reward for those that has been watching the whole time. So if you watch this from start to finish, you also got the answer about what this feather is. But yeah, see you guys on the next video. Appreciate your support and your love. Let's do this. Let's break the next narrative. Then try not to be horrible like Tiffany.